I know, amazing. Yeah, you're sick. You're totally sick as fuck, but you're not dead. Look at him. Look at him. Look at this. 100%. 100%. I planned 6 deaths so far, yeah. Sealand, you're actually not even sick anymore. Look, you're not sick. You're 7% immunity. You're doing well. Does a liquid chlorine geyser exist? It does not. It unfortunately does not. Only liquid carbon dioxide. There's a gas carbon dioxide, a liquid carbon dioxide, a gas hydrogen. There's a water, hot steam, cool steam. There's a bunch. I could name all of them if we really wanted to, but there's a bunch. But unfortunately, no liquid chlorine. Liquid chlorine would be good, but it's not. It would be hard to keep liquid. That's the problem, and that's the same problem that like exists with this one, right? Is a liquid carbon dioxide geyser is nice, but it's very hard to keep it liquid because it comes out at -55, so it would be bad. $100 coins. That geyser is my cold biome? Yeah, it basically is. There's a squishy somewhere on the map. There's one squishy somewhere on the map. I just have no reasonable way of finding it other than digging out the entire map. Right? Like, there's no way for me to find that unless I dig out everything. So what we're gonna try to do is, did I do the thing? No. Wait, why is this not working? Wait, why is this not working? Alright, so this is our other one. Let's move Reddick down here. Alright, how good are you? Not great. Not bad, but not great. Not great. I'm really not gonna... I don't know. I don't know. I don't know yet. I don't... How am I gonna cool this? Do I have to cool it? Do I have to cool it? He's so broke, not even the bot is helping him. Ouch! Ow. That's rough. How do I... Do I have to cool this? Oh my god, how is this even... So this is a second geyser. Literally on top of the first geyser. Oh my god, are you fucking kidding me? It's a volcano. There's a volcano literally sitting on top of my steam geyser. How do I... What do I even do? What... Doesn't that mean that I can use Steam for the first time ever? I mean, depending on what kind of... Yeah, I guess 3x3 is volcano. Yeah, so when you... Geysers can't be built on, right? So, like, look at this geyser. I'm spamming tiles. Geysers cannot be built on. So, if you've memorized what pattern geysers are, you can tell what it is. A gas geyser is 4 tall and 2 wide. A liquid geyser is 4 wide and 2 tall. And a volcano is 3 wide, 3 tall. So, Baracus, SOH, how are you? So, if by spamming on this, I can't build in this 3x3 area, it's a volcano, right? If I were to spam on this, I can't build in this 2 tall area, it's a water geyser of some form. Right, so I can tell what kind of geyser it is. I don't know if it's like an iron geyser, or a gold geyser, or a copper geyser, or a magma, like a straight up volcano. But I do know that it is a volcano of some sort. The problem is it's a volcano of some sort on top of my water, which super sucks. I like how there is 1 tile of abyssalite right here. There was a jungle biome here, I think. There is 1 tile of abyssalite. Oh god, why? What? Oh no. I actually remembered this yesterday, but I wasn't really paying attention. There is very little abyssalite on this map, right? Like, from a perspective of things to insulate, we have a very small amount of abyssalite. The only abyssalite that exists on this map is the abyssalite between oil and lava, and the oil and this biome. That's the only one. Do I know where my squishy is? I don't. So we only have, like, very little abyssalite to deal with. That's another thing that's kind of a consequence of doing this. This better not be gold. Yes, all gold. Okay. Of doing this without, you know, without other biomes, with a single biome, is there's no abyssalite walls to actually build insulation. So temperature kind of has become an issue. Right, on top of obviously Slimelung being a big issue. Which Sealand Marie just got sick again. I guess we can make exosuits, but I was kind of trying to do this without exosuits. I guess we could make some exosuits, though. I do not know where my squishy is. That is the only thing in this map that... Because there's no Weezwarts, right? There's no Weezwarts. I don't know where the squishy is. I don't know where a lot of stuff is, so... Why not show people how to use the exosuits? I wasn't doing exosuits because they're kind of cheating in this scenario, but I'm starting to think that maybe, just maybe, it's not really the world's worst idea. We're gonna have stuff, because we're also not generating a ton of oxygen. We need to generate oxygen, which is gonna be these. This map sucks in every way. This map isn't ideal. I've respected is claiming it, but I'm not positive. Look at that, though. I don't know who... I actually don't. I mean, Respected is claiming it, and I'm not going to fight him on it, but I'm not positive who. Bearded man trapped on a slime ball? Oh my god, is somebody actually trapped? Nobody's trapped, right? No, nobody's trapped. Jungle biome is the easiest next answer. I mean, it is the easy next answer. I don't know if it's... It definitely has different challenges than this. I'm not sure it's either easier or harder, though. Okay, so let's... Some liquid pipe is missing? Fucking. This one doesn't have power, this one doesn't have power. It's this one? Yeah, I don't. Yes, there's one that was not working, apparently. I am the trapped man. Oh. This hurts so much. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. You can still use the steam geyser? Yeah, I can still use the steam geyser, but I'm kind of thinking, so I am actually kind of thinking of doing a steam turbine here, right? I mean, we have a very literal volcano on top of an already hot steam source, right? That's creating 1,200 grams a second of steam. It's erupting all the time. I mean, I think we could theoretically really do, you know, a steam turbine here. And then just recycle that extra steam into water, right? Have this erupt, do the steam turbine, take advantage of the power, recycle the water or the steam that comes out of the turbine back down into water, and then feed it in for our oxygen. Oh, come on. You had one job. And that was don't hump the carbon dioxide geyser. How would you get it? How would I get what? Where is this gonna go? It's gonna split and go. Okay. This one's not working. I do realize that. Gee, somebody got Slimelung. Who saw that coming? How would I get the water? So, I mean, steam is just obviously really hot water. We would just condense the water, or we would just let it naturally condense kind of out here in the world somehow. I don't know yet. The answer is I don't know yet. Right? Like, I would tell you that I know, but I don't. There's a lot of things, so... There's a lot of things that as I get more and more into this challenge, that I don't... Right? That I don't know. There's a lot of, yeah, the squishy is really going to be not necessarily a saving grace, because you can't cool an entire map with one squishy. Like, we can do some stuff, but we can't do everything always. So that'll be interesting. There's going to be a lot of problem solving this week, I'll tell you that. Yeah, well, that's not cooling the base. I mean, that's not going to cool anything. What does the squishy produce? It doesn't produce anything. All it does is consumes hydrogen to remove heat. Dude, I literally dropped it to 70%. But I think the bot... Billy Ray Joe with the follow. Billy Ray Joe, thank you for the follow. I think the bot is having some serious issues with the amount of people that we've thrown at it, though. Right, I like this idea. The dumping heat into... Right, dump the heat into here, which is just being consumed by this, which doesn't care about the heat. Like, I like that idea. Which then cools down these. These now produce colder, polluted water, so eventually this will get some things. Is the smart battery working? Yes, but we're not actually producing enough... We're not producing enough power for our consumption right now. Right, we're not producing enough power for our consumption, so that's why you're not seeing... But yes, it is working. It's just we're working harder. Oxygen is the next problem. Oxygen's the next problem. Our oxygen. So this layout. Hold on. Before you say, hey, oxygen is an issue. That layout is actually, you know what? We're not terrible. The oxygen layout does include polluted oxygen, though. Right, but a lot of this is actually regular oxygen because we're purifying everything. But that's not the full story, unfortunately. All right, we need. So this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to kind of trap this. Is it worth those gens with the microchip station? Maybe. Here's the other issue is the microchip station takes refined metal, which is something that, while I can make a bunch more, requires somebody to do it right now, and I don't have that. It would also require that I figure out how to make this into one room, which is also a huge pain in my ass. Well, I guess we could do a thing, and then you got what to work. Oh, really? Oh, like irresponsibly high up? Okay. Okay, so broken high up. We could microchip it. Let's see. Stations. Power control. If we try this. Your problem when I watch my stream when you come back to college? Why? It's 2:35 in the morning. Yeah, don't ruin your college. What is that robot-looking thing? It is a power control station. You don't know what it looks like because I never use it. I barely ever use this thing. Heavy watt joint plates. That's gonna have to go first. Okay. Someone died? Not recently. I mean, at cycle 25, somebody died. We lost our first person at cycle 25, and it's been the only death. She is alone in her death. Alone in her shame. This might work. We'll see. It might help. It might not. I hope this counts as a room. Oh, you know what? Let's come up this way. This solves my problem. Yeah, this solves my problem. Okay. Is there any decent setup for steam powered that doesn't feed from a vent or use magma? No. There's nothing. I'm sorry you got timed out for that too. There is nothing there is nothing in the game that produces temperatures high enough that doesn't melt. This is what they said. This was Star Guardian 7. Unfortunately, there's nothing in the game that produces temperatures high enough that doesn't already melt on its own, right? The only things that really produce temperatures high enough are these, and they would melt down at 125 degrees Celsius. Right? Properties, well, overheat temperature 175, which is 75 degrees colder than you need it to be. Right, so unfortunately there's nothing that gets it hot enough except volcanoes and magma. Steam turbines, so I won't lie, steam turbines are probably the most worthless thing that you can play with in the game. Everything that a steam turbine does can be done easier by something else, so there's really no use for them. Other than because. Right, that's the only kicker, is it's just not worth it. Alright, so Sealan is doing... I want to redo that first, because maybe it'll help. Yeah, I would. This is a great moment to use it. The problem is if it's right. It also, yes, this is a great moment to do it, but it's going to depend also heavily on their dormancy. It's going to be heavily reliant on how much this actually puts out, eruption times, things like that. It's just. Yes, this is a great time to play with it. Like, this setup is super ideal to play with it, but I'm still not holding my breath. I have never had luck with that thing. Right? I've just never had luck with it. And that's if it even builds. Like, I've never had luck getting the damn thing to even build, which is stupid. Building it should never be the problem, but for some reason, I always have problems building the damn thing. Like, every single time I try to build it, it just sits for like 30 or 40 or 50 cycles, just waiting for things. And this map, I think, is going to kind of... I think this map is going to progress a little slower than other maps. If only because, you know... However, look at that temperature right there. Huh? Oh, look at that. Brazil 5, EUA 0. Mio Mog. Hello, Mio Mog. Mio. I don't know what rhymes with Mio, to be honest. Quite contrio. Mio. I don't know. What would you like? Oh gee, somebody got Slimelung. Mooey McBeef. Shocking. How goes it? It's going okay. Mog is in Kupo? Yes, Mog is in Kupo. Yes, her name is Mog is in Kupo. I have no idea how well this is going to work, but we're going to find out. Wow, that overpressurized pretty fast, huh? What hour do I usually start the stream? 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Mio, mio, hola, amigo. Alright, I can go with that. We're on that theme ringer. I normally start at 7 PST, or PDT. You've been playing so much Factorio, that game sucks you in and will just spit you out used and raw. Meki, why are you doing this instead of a thing? Let's also get you building. Just, yeah, dude. Frickin' Factorio is... It is, yeah. 3 a.m.? Dantalian, thank you for popping in. Thanks for hanging out. I know it's so early for so many of you. So, thank you. It's amazing to me that you are still here. Alright, question. Will this now become a room? No, because this isn't done. $10:45-ish? 10:44. Here, yes. Good night. I thought you were gonna play some Life is Feudal. Life is Feudal. You can play your WoW. Yeah. $10:45. Whiskey time for Clonky. Whiskey's fantastic. I brought my whiskey downstairs, so I actually don't have it next to me. Which is kind of unfortunate. Yeah, he already went. Right there. Whiskey, whiskey, whiskey. I don't know how I feel about that. That are available. Yes, Seelan. Yes, Miss Seelan Marie. You're gonna get into the triple ditch by Thursday? Ugh. No thanks. No thank you. Oh, come on. Is the room too big? Is the room too big? 97 tiles. Maximum size 96 tiles? Come on. Come on, game. Why you gotta do me like that? It's dry heat. Well, it depends where you are in Texas, I suppose. And it depends where in Texas you are, if it's dry here or not. Gendor with the follow. Gendor, thank you for the follow. Thank you. You are all awesome. Now we're in a power. Okay. Do we even have... Do we have a... yes, we do! Mooey McBeef with the electrical engineering. Dry heat is the worst. I would take dry over frickin' hot any day. I would take that, yeah. I would take frickin' dry over humid any day. Alright, so this thing is now working. I guess let's punch some gold into existence. What's odd? I don't think this is gonna work right, but we're gonna see. Come to St. Louis, it's triple digits today. Ah. Yeah, I'll take SoCal, thanks. I will live in my SoCal life. Oh, is Mooey sick? Yes. Mooey's currently the only one that's sick. Oh. Okay, so we're good here, we're good here. Look at this cooldown. This is working awesome. We're just gonna move the heat to here, and then from here, we're just gonna kind of get these to cool down a little bit, right? And then it's gonna just kind of do a self-cooling. Look at that. Okay, so that's cooling down. This is a problem still. Oh my god, this is a huge problem still. Okay, this one. I swear to God, I was just say, oh my god, if he freaking builds that from in there, I am just gonna be... Drip cooling was patched. That's one, why I'm using airflow tiles. Two, drip cooling is been fixed. We are actually taking... So drip cooling as a bug was that the temperature wasn't used right. So temperature was averaged, not... Right, we're using this. Temperature was averaged so that, like, if I were to put this guy instead of energy was averaged. Temperature was averaged instead of energy was averaged. So if I were to take this thermal aqua tuner and put it in here, in this polluted water, then this wouldn't work, right? And that's what drip cooling bug actually was. Because all of the heat that we're taking out of this water, we're putting into this water. But I don't care that I'm putting heat into this water, because this water's getting pumped here where that water's just getting destroyed. If the drip cooling bug still existed, then we could just put this thermal aqua tuner in here, and it wouldn't work. But we're actually just transferring the heat. Now, from a cooling perspective, this has always worked, and was supposed to, right? Because liquid cooling works in real life. You know, take a look at anybody who does the liquid nitrogen cooling on their PCs, you know, to make a processor run at 7 gigahertz. People use liquid nitrogen. We don't have liquid nitrogen in this game, so we can't do that. But cooling things down with a liquid is commonplace. So the bug was cooling things down with a liquid, but that it wasn't averaging energy, it was averaging temperature. So there's two things in this game that you have to kind of deal with. what you see visually is temperature. Liquid chlorine cooling, we could, but not in this map. We don't have any chlorine on this map, right? So there's two things that actually take up this temperature that you see. There's the temperature itself, which is 33.1 degrees Celsius. But in the polluted water, it's 33.1 degrees Celsius, we'll say, times 6. It's the specific heat capacity of 6, right? Because that's 6 joules of heat for 1 gram by 1 Kelvin. So it's 32 degrees times 6, or a total of roughly, we'll say 30. So we'll say roughly 180 joules worth of energy that's stored right here. But in regular water, where the surface heat capacity or specific heat capacity is only 4, now instead of being able to store 180 joules and be 30 degrees, at 30 degrees this would only store 120 joules of energy. And so the bug existed where it didn't take those joules into account. All it took was this temperature. So what would happen is you would have this like 1 gram of water, and even though that 1 gram of water is only storing 6 joules of energy, it was being averaged with the whole square of water, which would have 180 joules of energy. And so that 6 joules of energy was being averaged to 180 joules of energy when it should have been weighted so that 6 joules only affected really 6 joules of the other one, right? And they averaged 6 joules at 6 joules. That's what happens, right? And that was the bug, where it wasn't taking into effect the energy, and therefore crazy things were happening, right? You would get this wicked cool, or this wicked cold stuff well past what it was supposed to. Now it takes into account all of those joules, all of that energy, and so because it does that, now we can't just we can't cool down the same pool of water that we're also dumping heat into. Now we actually have to worry about where we're putting that heat. And right, I don't mind putting that heat in here, because as long as I put that heat in here, then it's going to get destroyed here. And at the expense of this is getting colder, this is getting hotter. I can't just delete heat anymore. Does that help? Does that help explain why it's a thing? Or what the bug actually was? Coins. It's AY. Liquid chlorine has a use. It doesn't. It looks pretty, but I mean, it doesn't really have a use. I wish it did. 2 of 5. That's not too bad. I wish it had more of a use than it does, because it looks really pretty. Liquid chlorine is gorgeous. So we just have to be careful how much we heat this up and how much we keep this aqua tuner getting hot, right? So this aqua tuner's gonna kind of sit here, but we can dump. Polluted water is really good at holding energy, right? It's really good at giving off energy and taking in the energy, but it's really good at it can hold a lot of energy per joule, or it can hold a lot of joules per gram. So it's a good way to absorb heat and to also, you know, give off heat and stuff like that. You thought liquid chlorine was polluted water at first? It's I love the polluted chlorine in this game. It's very pretty. Or the liquid chlorine in this game. It's very pretty, if you ask me. So yes, I am glad that the bug is fixed. By all means, I am super glad that the bug is fixed, because it was silly, right? It was very silly. Seeing these machines that were literally taking heat and transferring it out of where it is. Well, so funny you should talk about killing germs in water or killing germs in gas with chlorine. We maybe found a way to do that. We actually have a way of doing that. We figured out a way to allow liquids to interact with each other. and allowing gases to also interact with each other. The problem is, so there's a couple of caveats. It's not super easy. It does take up dupe time, but it also has non-hacky, I say non-hacky, it has non-hacky infinite gas storage in one tile. So it is one tile, non-hacky infinite gas storage, infinite water storage in one tile, and it doesn't, all it takes up is dupe time. And it allows liquids and gases to interact with chlorine. So you can take completely germy, food polluted water and clean it like that with no temperature change. We did figure that out. How do you have 48 coins if it didn't? I think the bot is freaking out, dude. I think the bot is freaking out. I would not. We will probably figure out a way to figure out the bot soon. So we can now clean germs without any temperature problems if we want to. So I'm gonna, yeah. And as far as I can tell, it's intended. Like, it's not a bug. It's actually intended, as far as I can tell. Right? It's an intended function of the game that was just put in last patch. So it does take a lot of time, which I think is the trade-off, but otherwise, it seems fine. Seems fine. Wait, what's breaking? Oh. Small setup, it works, but it's such small amounts being worked, and I have to guard it or the dupes steal the germified bottles. Yeah. Yeah, I think you've got to do what I did, right? And have, like... I think, one, it's better for gas than it is for liquids. But two... That you think that's the bug? I don't know. I agree with you. I think they probably will. But from right now, it looks like it was intended, to be honest. I think there will also be implementation sooner than later of a thing. Of an actual gas moving, like a real legitimate gas moving thing. You gotta kind of do what I did and have that vertical pipe and then just have like 5 dudes just emptying it. I think it's cool. I'm curious to see how it can be abused, at least for storage. I think for gas storage, it's a great thing. For cleaning things, I still think there are easier methods, but I'm not gonna be like, oh, we absolutely have to do it some other way. Hey, Haterade. Hello, how are you? Good, you all? I am well. Yeah, the trade-off of dupe time is good. I think a bottling station is coming. So, I had made a post on the Clay forums at the beginning of Ranching 1, I think, where I was talking about, hey, I found these bottles, right? There's a thing, I found bottles, like, is this the thing? And they kind of were like, yeah, this is gonna be it's gonna be a thing. It's gonna be a feature of the game, if you will. Look at that, though. Huh? It's going down. No, it's going up. Wait, maybe it's going down. Oh my god, Slimelung again? We need to get plastic sooner than later. When discussed, a friend was asking if an ore scrubber couldn't be set up at the pickup point and thus fixed what they take away. I don't see why. So, I don't see why you couldn't ore scrub it at that point. No. I don't see why you couldn't ore scrub it at that point. Right? I mean, it's just considered. It's literally considered an object. I don't understand. I don't get why you wouldn't be able to. That natural gas setup looks great. It's working really good, actually. You'll watch my streams from now on? Thank you. That's the best compliment you could give me, to be honest. So thank you. Have they given us any details? No, and I don't get any special treatment. I've asked. I don't get any special treatment. I wish I did, but what am I looking for? Yeah. I mean, I guess me saying I don't get any special treatment is a little false, because I have gotten hosted by them a couple times, but like I don't get previews of the stuff, and I mean, as much as I would like to see what's coming up, right? Like, who doesn't want to see what's coming up? As much as I would like to see what's coming up, part of me doesn't want to, only because I don't want to, you know, I don't want to ruin it. Like, I like the surprise as much as you guys do of downloading that new patch and being like, what's new? Like, what's available? You know, I downloaded it at the same time you guys do, which is great. Because we always do, on patch days, we always put out, like, a video of just... We always do a stream of just like, hey, let's figure out what's new. Let's play with some of the new stuff. Let's go exploring, like that sort of thing. We always do those on patch days, which I like to do because I enjoy. I mean, I obviously very much enjoy this game. Some tar and feathers and put on the ore scrubber. I do not get tar and feathered. I have gotten the host a couple of times after Rhymes with Play, which is fantastic and amazing and great, and we've gotten so many awesome community members out of it. And it's cool to be hosted by the company whose game you're playing, which is, I think, always awesome. But it's one of those things. I do want the new game though. The what is it? Griftlands. I want to try Griftlands. I want in the beta for Griftlands. The bot's broken. All right, I'm going to drop Heist for the night. And to make up for it, I am going to, everybody who does bots, loot is going to be 500. All right, so Hogger is now worth 500. Yeah, I want Griftlands. I don't. It's the RPG from Clay that's coming out. That's like, not steampunk, but kind of the like future, like grifty, grimy future kind of art style, and I thought so. I believe so. So Hager is going to be worth 500 this time. So you guys can just do your things. Raids down. Yeah, I'm a big fan. Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk is what I was looking for, by the way, as an art style. I'm a big fan, so I think it's neat. I like the cyberpunk lifestyle thing, though. Does anybody shudder when they hear a puff breathe? No? I would like... You know what? We're kind of food positive. Let's choose a duplicate. I would like somebody who's actually mouth breather, twinkle toes, supply operate. You're fast. You are fast. This Ellie will be Mio. Ellie is now Mio. Welcome to the colony. I do not promise you a long life, but I do promise you an interesting one. Let's make sure that you get a job, though. We actually need you to kind of just be a farmer. Mio doing the farm? Yeah, me too. I want a decent, like, awesome. Mio, get your farmer's hat. What? Boom! Look at that. Farmer's hat, farmer's hat. And now we'll go into the... Right, so that way Mio can kind of just do the things. And hopefully help do base mom duties. Let's see. We should probably go up... Here's the shit part. I don't think we have chlorine. So, since we don't have chlorine, let's get this going. Yeah. I don't think early access would fit a game like that, to be honest. So, I'm kind of happy they're not doing it. And this is dormant now. That's great. This is where I was gonna build my... Shit. We don't have a cold biome. Yeah, rip my cold biome. That was my cold biome. How bad are we doing? Oh, I don't know what to do yet. All right, hold on. I'm gonna use the bathroom. I will be back in a second. I gotta figure out how we're gonna do oxygen because I want to do an electrolyzer, but it is gonna kill all of our plants. Hello, the pictorabism. Who's amazing? Good old HVAC, right? We're gonna have to do some HVAC. I think actually, so I think the next thing that we really should do is kind of what I was trying to think of doing before. Right, is obviously... hold on. Just raise a radiator from an ice biome instead of HVAC. That would be awesome. Star Guardian, I would really enjoy to do that and use a radiator from an ice biome